Morning and welcome back to another video. You may notice I have a microphone. I also have a gimbal, which you can't see because you're attached to it at the moment. So I'm stepping it up a little bit for you guys. Bear with me as I learn how to use it all. But today we are working on the old boys VH. What I had to do was we were waiting on the PWR radiator to come in for the car. It didn't come in before Christmas, so I actually made him a little Chinese unit, which just didn't do the job. It just wouldn't cool it. So the new radiator's finally come in, but I do have to change some of these fittings and stuff that I got. So that's what I had on there. Never mind my welds, they're actually very hard to weld. That factory junk just didn't want to stick. It didn't leak, but it just doesn't look pretty. So I can't actually run this swivel unit because it actually touches on the radiator fans. So today's job, I'm going to make a new fan shroud, lower one of the fans down so that unit will fit, and fire it up and hopefully there's no leaks, because we're also finding at the bottom here, it was leaking no matter how tight we did it. We used 3 or 4 different thermostats, faced the water pump, faced that, we couldn't get it to stop leaking. So when I've had that on there previously, it didn't leak. So anyway, that's today's job. Radiator fan shroud. Yeah. Let's get into it. All right, so what would happen is it would touch right here on this fan. So obviously this is made for like a early Commodore when they have a different shape, sort of lower. Actually, I can show you in the Cali over in the VK over here. That's the way the support panel is on the bottom, so that's why there's a whole heap of cooler that doesn't have a shroud on it, because normally the intake pipe comes up above that. So as we don't have that in the VH, I can now bring this fan shroud down a little bit to accommodate this fan. So that fan can come down a tiny little bit. That one can stay where it is. Which will also be good because it will help draw more air through the actual core of the radiator. So it only needs like bugger all. So I'm gonna basically remake this whole thing, mount it the same way at the top, do the same around the sides here. This will come down to about here, around there, all the way along here, and then that can basically come down as a square edge. That'll probably stay. I will probably have to weld another pickup further down here, as that fan will now be in the way of this one. So yeah, I'll get onto that. Right, so what you would have just seen me do then was make this bit right here. Little piece of angle line, which is basically replicating what I have on the top here. So I think I'm going to weld him onto there. I can actually re-drill my holes there and pick up them points, as the fans do stick in a little bit. So that'll be enough to clear the head of the bolt in there. And then I'll probably just make another infill panel from there down, and then once it's all welded, then I can cut these bits here out and it will draw over the whole lot. This really sort of saves me some time of remaking all of this, all the angles and folding it and whatnot. So if I've already got it there, why would I want to make it again? So I'll go set the TIG welder up and I'll tack that bit there on and see how we go. So This is my welding bay. You see it? It's filthy dirty at the moment, sorry. But all right, I'll set the camera down, set up a bit of a time lapse. Now, I'm no welder. I'm a machinist by trade. Yeah, I'll give it a clean up. I can make 2 bits of aluminium stay together. Is it pretty? Sometimes not. But yeah, I'm all self-taught. So I'll set the time lapse up and I'll show you how I do it. So as I said, I'm not the best welder, but it's 2 bits of aluminium stuck together. So nothing a grinder can't fix. I'll just have to fill in these end panels here at each side. Then I'll cut this bit here out, the old one, so that it can then draw air from up there. And then next task will be to extend this down. It's pretty warm, so grab the glove. There we go. So now I can re-drill my holes there. Do the same down here. Extend that down. Extend that down. See how we go. Should hopefully be enough. If I loosen that bad boy off. That misses now. That's all I needed. Right, alright, I'll make that piece there now. Clean up my shocking weld. There we go. Now, I don't know if you noticed there, but what I did is put the bolts in, so I knew it was in position where it needed to be, because if you look at the top of these, they do stick up a little bit. You can get flush ones, but they're very easy to pull through, so I like these ones. Now I've just accounted that that's about, actually I can measure it, there's some verniers here, 0.7 of a millimetre. That's how high they stick up, 0.7, 0.65. So it's moved this whole thing down that tiny little bit, which isn't really a big deal in what I'm doing here. But then I've gone and marked exactly where I need that to sit. So I have clearance on that fitting there, and that it will sit flush along the bottom here, rather than it sitting, up or down or whatnot. So yeah, just a couple of marks so then I can tack weld that on, double check it, and then I'll burn it in again. So yeah, as I said, sometimes I'm a better welder, sometimes I'm not a great welder. Right, there we go. Those end pieces are all welded in. For those who might be interested, so this is just a piece of pipe that I've welded on, made a little, sleeve that's adjustable, and then I just clamp it to my workbench. This workbench is just pallet racking, so the bottom of this is, like this here. So I use some cheap Bunnings clamps, these ones here. And you see me just hold the workpiece up and steady myself. The steady you can be, the better you can weld, even though I'm not a welder, but it sure does help. And then like you would have seen me use just heavy bits of pieces and stuff like that. This vise I actually made in trade school. And it's got some weight to it, and it's just good to like hold your workpiece where you need it so you can tack it. But yeah, so now I'll just clean these welds up and re-drill a couple of holes here and here. It's got a bit of a warp to it now because it's had so much heat put through it, so I can straighten that out. But a lot of it does get pulled down straight when it's bolted on anyway. So yeah, I'll clean this bad boy up, fit it, and we'll see how we go. Right, this is one of my favourite tools in the shed. It's a nutsert gun. These are nutserts, some people call them rib nuts. You can see a couple mounted in here. It's basically it's like it pinches itself between the material. So as you hit this, it pulls it in tight. And as you can see on here, there's some splines. It sort of just crushes those splines together and just makes it like tight with friction. So you measure that. I know that's 8.9 mil. Got my 8.9 mil drill bit. Drill the hole. Then you just thread it onto the end of that. Pop it in the hole. Squeeze the trigger. Unscrew it. You now have in there a nut. Right, so as you can see below me here, the radiator's all in. Didn't get time to film it yesterday, just life got in the way, sorry. So I filled it with coolant, but I just remembered you guys haven't heard this car yet properly, so here's the keys. the engine bay's filthy dirty at the moment. Had hands all over it. So that's a blue wire keyless remote. That beeping you can hear is the most annoying part about it. It senses when the key is near the car and it automatically locks and unlocks the car. But it's got a 1.5 second start time, which is good, but sometimes this starts in like under a second, so it runs the starter motor for like an extra half a second and a bit. It's like a bit annoying, so I need to talk to Sean from Blue Wire, see if he can program the little ECU box it comes with, see if he can change that, and see if he can change that stupid like beeping. So I'm going to end this video off here. Sorry I didn't get the end of it, of me putting the radiator back in. So a few more jobs left to do on it. I have to get the overflow catch can on it, which is floating over here, make a mount for it, which I'm probably going to put in down behind the grill. And then I also have a brand new FH Classics rear SLE bar rubber. FH Classics are now doing those with all the little end bits for VB, VC, VH. Yeah, with the end caps, new clips, new bolts, like the whole kit and caboodle. So I'll do a video putting that on, because at the moment I've just got a second-hand one on there which I've made do with. I've also got some Holcomb rear window regulators to put in, and then we have to take it to a trimmer and get them to trim the rear seat around the tubs, so they can make that nice and neat. Yeah, and just a few other small things. Get the thing wheel lined, get the air conditioner gassed, and just a few small bits, and then tidy up, clean the whole car inside and out. And then yeah, do a whole heap of cruising. I think the old boy wants to do roll racing coming up soon, so hopefully we can enter that, and he can go and enjoy the car. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and feel free to leave some comments. Cheers guys.